Sports are a huge part of modern culture. Dare I say, sports are important. They keep kids active, they bring people together, they increase brand revenue. You know, family values. Now, when you think of sports, you probably think of
Football, baseball.
Baseball, basketball, and football.
Basketball, tennis,
Football, hockey, and then baseball.
Football, hockey, basketball, and softball.
nobody ever thinks of pool. Because is pool even a sport? I mean, sure, playing it doesn't require any type of running. People drink when they're playing it. It doesn't require any agility. People take drugs when they're playing it. You can be out of shape. It's played in a bar. Don't need to go to the gym to be good. You can watch TV in the background. You're just walking around. You're watching other sports while playing this game. It's not on ESPN. I guess you can eat while you're playing it. Kind of like the Pluto of the sports world. One day it's a sport, the other day it's not. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. But despite all that, is pool a sport? Yes. If curling and whatever this is a sport, then pool gets to be a sport too. But I might be wrong. I mean, when I was younger, I thought The Love Guru was a good movie. Brody, what the f? So, maybe pool isn't a sport. I mean, a girl stopped talking to me because I told her I was an athlete for playing pool. She just said, "Ha, you're a nerd." And we haven't talked since. Screw you, Cassandra. Please take me back. So to save my ego and my potential relationship, I wanted to find out if pool is a sport and if I am an athlete. So instead of Googling it like a normal person, I hit the streets of Chicago to find out. This is pool cues. You know, because it's like a cue, but a cue because I'm asking. You know, you get. I'm sorry. I'll show myself out. So, after putting on my best Malort shirt and a quick travel montage, I made it to downtown Chicago to find out what people thought about pool. And by downtown, I mean the Bean. I went to the Bean. But before we find out is pool a sport, first, what is a sport? What would you consider to be a sport?
A sport is something where it's head-to-head competition, and the result depends on your performance.
Definitely an active.
Like
Something active.
being active, athletic?
Being active, athletic, and very challenging.
Gosh, I mean, anything that you need a high level of something very specific. I
Okay.
guess you got to be a lot better at it. Something fine-tuned.
Yeah, you gotta be like, you gotta be athletic.
Yeah.
Majority of sports are just, it's a ball. You're either throwing it around, hitting it around, so.
A sport is you watch it on TV or you go to a game. Just watch it with family and friends.
Anything that makes you athletic and have to have some skills, because I know I couldn't play football or baseball or any of that kind of stuff.
I don't know, actually. I think that it taps into something really deeply human, it's just like everything that happens when you're doing a sport is instantly understood by the people watching it, right? It's also that and the participation part. I don't think that it has to get your body moving, but it does have to get your heart rate up or yourself engaged. Like chess is a sport.
Competition.
Just any competition?
Any competition.
It's very competitive
Okay.
with a ball
Yeah.
most of the time. I would say mainly the teamwork.
Physical competition.
Okay. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So, it sounds like sports consist of three main things. It needs to be a competition, it must require skill, and it may require some form of athleticism. So do you think pool is a sport?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, when I'm drunk at a bar.
But only when you're drunk?
No, it's a sport, but I'm only playing it when I'm,
Okay.
yeah.
No,
Pool's not a sport?
No.
Why not?
because a lot of people doesn't watch it.
Because people don't watch it?
Yeah.
Why do you think people don't watch pool?
Because it's a bar game. You go to the bar, you just want to play pool.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think it depends on how it's played, but yeah, I guess if it's in a competitive
It can be.
sense.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you play pool?
Recreationally. Yeah.
Okay,
I
for sure.
wouldn't call what I do a sport, but I would call the pros sports for sure.
Yes.
Nope, I do not think it's a sport. I don't know who thinks it's a sport. It's an art form.
Hell yeah, it's an
It
art.
is an art form. You got to know a lot to be any good at playing pool, and you have to have some skill. You got to know about angles. There's so much thing. It's just like art.
Are you an artist?
Yes, I am.
If I'm just playing with some friends, yeah, I guess it's an activity. But if I'm actually playing to hey, let's, loser buys drinks.
Yeah.
I'd consider that more of a sport.
Do you think pool is a sport?
Pool, yeah, I would say so.
Okay, for sure. Have you ever played pool? I know you're a horse. It's got to be kind of difficult.
It's a bit hard with the horseshoes and everything, but we'd love to try it one day.
Yeah.
That's a sport?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
You're playing, you're other people playing together. Well, it is. For me, it is. I consider it a sport.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy moments in pool. Like, it's instantly understandable what people are trying to do, and you can see people like get hyped up about it. It's a team sport or it's a solo sport. I don't see any reason why not.
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to have coordination and learn all those cool shots.
Okay, well, that's what the non-pool players think, but let's go see what pool players think. And the best place to find pool players is at Surge Billiards on League Night. Let's go check it out. Do you think pool is a sport?
Oh, of course. Definitely a sport. Look at me.
You're the fittest man I've ever seen.
Exactly, right?
Is pool a sport?
Yes. Yes. Oh, it should be in the Olympics.
Pool should be in the Olympics. You've heard it
here first.
Let's go. Pool in Olympics.
Of course it is.
Hell yeah, it is. Do you think pool is a sport?
No,
You don't?
no,
Okay, why not?
because I didn't think it was a sport before I played.
Okay. And now you're staying consistent?
Yeah.
What is your definition of a sport?
I feel like you should break a sweat.
You've never gotten a little bit nervous in a pool match and started breaking a sweat?
Not really.
Okay, cool. Cool as a cucumber. Is pool a sport?
Yes, of course.
I'd call it a game, but that's me. Is something that like an old man who's an alcoholic and smokes, is that a sport?
Yes, of course, it is a sport.
Oh, a sport. I mean, you could call it that, I guess.
Absolutely. Pool players, and I consider them athletes because of the amount of time, effort, and energy they spend in honing their craft.
Yeah, it's a sport. It's a competition. You're competing.
It's definitely a sport, yeah.
It's a sport. It's strategy, it's technique, it's you have to be able to think about what you're doing. It's ball control, it's speed, it's everything.
Absolutely. Like chess is a sport, yes.
You think chess is a sport?
It is a sport. It's a mental sport.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think like defines a sport?
Competition. Yeah, competition, absolutely. Any kind of competition.
Of course it's a sport.
Yes.
I would say yes. I think it involves a lot of skill, mentally challenging. Physically, you got to do your thing too. So I would say it's a sport.
So according to the people and the pool players of Chicago, pool is a sport. So I am an athlete, and maybe just a touch of an artist. So I texted Cassandra to let her know, and sorry, I'm getting a text. It's Cassandra. She says, "Nah, you're still a nerd." Wait, what?